Ready to elevate your Easter decor on a budget? I have created a unique bunny floral arrangement, a chic cross accent, and a riser with adorable carrot feet. All inspired by Dollar Tree. Stick around to see how these pieces will transform your space into something truly special this Easter. Hi, I'm Loli. Let's create something beautiful and find a little joy along the way. This one is quick, easy, but stunning. I took one of these trays from Dollar Tree and I'm going to paint it with 2 coats, just the top portion, with that spray paint from Rust-Oleum. Then I took 4 of these carrots. This comes in a pack of 2. It comes a bunny and one of these. And I'm showing you 3 here, but I use 4. Here I'm going to just go ahead and position this on here. The top of the salt pepper shakers have this flat section here, and then one piece is like curved. It is perfect for little feet for a tray like this. So I'm going to position them as you see right there. And the bottom section of this tray here have like 3 little bumps to kind of elevate it. So I had to position this in a way that the carrots did not touch those. And then here you can see how I shift this one to the side and position my 4th carrot right here underneath. And I'm using that little bevel edge as a guide. Then I'm taking some of this UHU glue from Amazon. I will link in my description box. And I'm adding it all in the top section of the carrots and replacing my tray over it. Then I put something heavy over them, over this piece, and let it sit overnight. And look how cute this is looking. It is the perfect little riser. You can use it for candle florals or whatever you like. I'm going to use this bunny that I got from Dollar Tree. This year, it is $5. You're going to remove the tag off of it and also this jute cord here. Just wasn't that pretty for me. I'm going to be doing something different with it. I took some of this baby spread that I got from Temu. I believe it was Temu. Yes. And they come in small little sections here. So I'm going to just go ahead and take off all the stems from there. I used about 4 or 5 of these pieces. I cut off the little section here that would have connected to the stem because it was just a bit too bulky for me. And we are going to begin gluing these to the bottom section of our bunny. And this is why we cut it off. Otherwise, this would have not allowed our bunny to sit properly. And then I just began placing the pieces there, trying to keep it as flat as possible to make sure that the florals do not keep the bunny from sitting properly as well. So we're going to take the flattest portion of the florals and put it towards the bottom, and the one that stick out towards the head of the bunny. And I kept doing that until I went all around. I started spacing them out like this until I went all the way around, and then I came in with another layer and also put it in between each one of them. And this is what I ended up with. Now we're going to bring our little tray back, or a little riser back, and this bunny sits perfectly in the middle. To make sure that it stays in place, because I did experience some lifting anyway, I'm going to add a generous amount of hot glue to the bottom and glue it on the bottom. But hot glue is not permanent, so whenever I like, I can always just remove that bunny and do a different thing with this riser. I glued my bunny right there at the center, and then just to embellish it a bit, I took this ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree. I thought it was a perfect addition to my bunny's neck. So I'm going to wrap a piece of it right around the neck right here and secure it with a bit of hot glue. Friends, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button. And while you're there, please let me know in the comment section, where are you watching from? I'd love to know how far my videos are reaching. And please subscribe and share this video with someone who will enjoy it just as much as you do. Thank you so much. All right, next, I took the same ribbon. I took a piece of it, and I'm going to create a bow with it. I'm just going to crisscross it, as you see there, kind of like making an awareness bow, and then cinching it in the middle. And then I just took a piece of jute cord and tied it on the center. When making a bow like this, it's important to make sure that you cinched everything exactly how you want it, because sometimes your bow can come out wonky. So just make sure you cinch it evenly and your bow looks very nice before you go ahead and tighten that knot. And then once I was happy with it, I just did a double knot in the back and cut off the excess. And I just cut off the excess on my ends as well, but just cutting it in an angle. Now we're going to take a bit of hot glue, place it in the back of our bow, and place the bow right there at the neck of our bunny. And that is it for this project. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about this one. I absolutely love it. Look how adorable that is. For this project, I'll be using this beautiful bunny cutout that we got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to just take my heat gun and heat up that tag so I'm able to remove it quite easily. I still have some residue remaining, so I just took my zip sander and just sanded that off until it was completely gone. Now we're going to go ahead and take some Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint and paint it with 2 coats. I found this beautiful liner at Dollar Tree. Look at the beautiful print that has. So we're going to use that to cover up this bunny. First, I'm trying to figure out exactly what part of the print I want on here. So I just turn it around in different angles until I was happy at how each one of the flowers on this print fit onto my bunny. So I decided to do it this way. And then I just trimmed off the amount that I needed to cover up the entire bunny. Here, be very careful because the bunny has like different levels here. The ears kind of stick up further. I almost cut a little bit too much, but I figured it out and I corrected course. Now I'm going to take some of this school glue that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to put a generous amount all over. You can use, Aleene's tacky glue, or you can use Mud Podge, whatever you have on hand. I'm just going to use my brush to spread it around to make sure that I have an even coat all over the bunny. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my piece and place it right on top of the bunny. Just be very careful because this tends to want to fold and then you can get some glue onto the printed side. So be very careful here. Line up all your edges exactly where you want them and then just smooth everything down, making sure that you have no bubbles or any wrinkled areas. And this was quite easy and it adhered quite perfectly. Once it was exactly how I wanted it and perfectly adhered, we're going to just take my cotton mat, put it underneath the piece, and then we're going to take my X-Acto knife and then trim off all of the edges. My sweet friend, if you're enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're loving it, make sure to hit the hype button. It truly helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. And this bunny turned out so beautiful. Look at that. Next, I took this candle holder from Dollar Tree. They had one like this before, but this one is different. If you notice the base, it has a little more of a high-end look than the previous one. Then I took this Floral foam piece from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and insert, or actually put the impression of the top of the candle holder in the side that's like the smallest one, right on there. Then I'm going to add some hot glue onto that indentation and reposition my candle holder, and this will really help it to stay in place. Now we are going to add our bunny right on top of this right here. Here I'm just seeing exactly how it's going to fit, and I'm taking note of what part of the bottom of the bunny will be hitting that foam piece. And I added hot glue right onto those areas and reposition my bunny right onto that foam. Now comes the time to decorate it. I'm going to use about 6 or 7, actually 7 of these sticks from the Dollar Tree. I cut them into individual pieces and I'm just adding them onto my foam piece, and I'm making sure that my stems are not too big so they don't go onto the other side. I started with putting 2 on the sides here, 1 on each side of the bunny. Then I added another one towards the center. And I'm fluffing as I'm going to make sure that I like how everything is flowing. And then we're going to add some here in between those 2. And I just kept doing that until I had it all around the bunny. Next, I took some of this eucalyptus from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to cut them into individual pieces, each of the picks. And I'm placing them in between in any areas that I see that might have a little bit of scanty areas and where you can still see the green foam, just to add this another texture into this arrangement. And I did that all the way around as well. And this is so beautiful, guys. The image right now in the camera does not give it justice. As I'm looking at this, I was thinking to myself, I should have added some of that liner to the side as well, to the back here, So that way you can have it in the center and from all sides it'll be just as beautiful. I might just go back and do that. All right, then I took these florals from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to place them strategically in different areas here to bring in another level of texture. And I love the soft pink in the edges of the flowers, and then the white is such a beautiful, delicate piece. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this project. And oh, I also added some moss onto the top section there so that it looked like the bunny was sitting on grass. And I thought I was done, but look how the bunny is blending into my background. So I decided to come back to my craft table and add a bow to the neck of the bunny. I started by adding a ribbon to the front of the bunny. I just glued it right there to the front, then wrapped it all the way around, placed the ribbon exactly where it's going to fit, cut off that excess ribbon from there, and then just tack down the end of this ribbon onto the same piece of ribbon from the beginning. Then once that was nicely adhered, I created a little bow using the same ribbon, and we are going to glue that to the front. And look how pretty that is looking, but I'm not done yet. We are going to take one of these floral pieces from the Dollar Tree. I was not sure which color I was going to use. I ended up using both. I took a white flower and I'm going to glue it at the center of the bow. Then I took one of the light gray ones from the other pack. I removed the bead or the pearl that was on the white flower and glued the gray flower on top of the white one. Then I removed this little pearl off of this one and replaced it with the pearl that came from the white flower. And that was perfect for this. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this one. Did you like it with the bow or without the bow? My friend, today's video is part of the DIY Inspirations collaboration, and this month is all about Easter decor. And this is hosted on the 8th of each month by my friend Katie from Lady Red Crafting, myself, Lolly, from Lolly D's Creations. And this month we have the privilege of having the amazing Marika from Marika Creations. The links to our channels and to the playlist will be linked in the description box below, so make sure to head on over and show everyone some love. Easter would not be Easter without our Savior Jesus Christ. So we are doing a project that commemorates the true meaning of the season. We're going to start with this cross from the Dollar Tree. I removed that tag and the jute cord, and I've also removed the tag from this piece from the Dollar Tree as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and take some spackling from the Dollar Tree and cover up the hole on the cross. And make sure that it was nicely flat on both sides. After that dried, I took some of this burnt amber from Apple Barrel and painted both pieces. Then I'm going to take a variety of different letters that I have, letter stickers that I have. Some came from Dollar Tree and some came from my local thrift shop. These ones right here came from my local thrift shop. I'm just going to use the smaller letters here on the sides of the horizontal portion of the cross. I'm placing HE here for he. And on the other side, I will be putting is, and I'm making sure that they are centered, that the words are centered within the size of the cross there. And the letters were so tiny that it was hard to kind of put them on there. I wish I had tweezers. For the middle section, I'm using these bigger letters also, and I'm going to spell the word risen. However, I only had the R-I-E-N. I was out of S's. So we are going to just leave the space for that, and later on we'll be adding it, finding a way to add the S there at the center. Then I make sure that my letters would adhere properly. And then I came in with some Rust-Oleum Linen white chalk paint, and I'm going to paint a dense amount right on top of where the letters are, just to make sure that those letters there will be nicely defined. Once I had the paint on all the lettering, then I'm going to come in and do a kind of like a rough painting on the entire cross, because I wanted that brown paint to also peek through. I wanted this piece to look quite distressed. I covered both the cross and also the tray, and I love how both looked. Now I'm going to take my Cricut weeder, and I'm going to just go ahead and remove this. And here, whoop, I'm trying to do it, but that letter went flying. I always have a mishap on my DIYs. I don't always show them, but this one I did. Anyway, we're going to remove all the letters on there. I had a little bit of bleeding right here. So I just took the same pick and just scraped off that dried up paint. And then I'm going to come in with a small brush and then just fill in any areas in which I had a little bit of a bleed to clean things up. Next, I took this bead. It's a square bead that came actually from, I think it's a brain teaser from the toy section at Dollar Tree. And I'm adding a combination of my Tite Bond Quick and Thick and some hot glue to adhere it to the back of my cross. This is just so I'm able to stand it. So I'm going to put it against my table here and make sure that everything is flush with the surface so it will stand up straight. Then I added the same glue in the same manner to the bottom of the bead as you see there. So I'm able to position it at the center of my tray. And I held it there until the glue set. And I just turned it around to make sure that everything was centered. Then I took some floral foam and I'm going to cut it into small sections that will be lower than the height of the tray. And I probably just did a Tetris thing here and make sure to fit pieces next to each other until the entire bottom was completely covered with the floral foam. Then I took these beautiful florals from the Dollar Tree. I love these picks. I don't see them as often and they go by quick. I'm kind of sad that this is kind of the end of them for me because now they went to $1.75 and I find myself not being as eager to buy them as when they were $1.25. Anyway, I took some of these pieces. I cut them into small pieces as you see there by just pushing the picks as high as they will go and cutting them very short and adding them all around the entire piece. Now here I'm taking a pencil and I'm going to just go ahead and trace my letter. I did not find anything in my stash that was the size of this letter. So, plan B was to just go ahead and paint it in. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to use a pencil here just so I have more control of it. And if I need to change things, I can do it and erase it if I need to do so. Once I was happy with it, I took my Arteza paint pen or paint marker, and I'm going to go ahead and use the brown here to outline it and fill in the inside of my letter. However, this brown, although on the pen it looks as if the same brown that I have in the rest of the lettering, which is that burnt amber from Apple Barrel. Instead, I came in with this purple one. I said, you know what, purple is usually the color on Easter. But as I was filling it in, I did not like how it was looking. I felt like it just stood out too much. It did not look like it belonged. So I changed courses and I came in with this color right here that I thought it was very close to the berries. And I think this looks a lot better. So this is what I went with and I filled in the entire letter with it. And I liked it. All right, then we took some of this ribbon from Dollar Tree and I just dovetailed the ends as you see there. Then I am gluing it onto itself, folding it as you see there, adding hot glue, very little hot glue on the edges until I had it completely sealed in on there. Then I took it and we're going to position it at the center of our cross. Once I had it in the exact level that I wanted it, I just held it in place and took a little bit of hot glue and tacked down those edges. I did the same thing on both sides. Once I had those two adhered correctly, I decided that I needed to add more greenery to this. It looked cute as it was, but I really wanted it to be fuller. So I took some boxwood also from the Dollar Tree and added in between on all of the areas that felt like it was needing a little more something. And I have to say this is my favorite because I love Jesus. And if you do as well, leave me a cross emoji in the comment section below. And also let me know what do you think about this project. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, here are a couple more videos you are sure to enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're amazing. Bye.